Hey, this is Sasha, and welcome to another Inside Day here at Backstage Income. I want to share with you right now how I go about planning my online video courses and really just planning out some things. Typically, I go through a planning process that's different for every course. Every course is different. Every product is different, but the video courses usually kind of have a similar process that we go through. And it's kind of mashing things together like clay. You start out with some ideas, you get some ideas from other areas, from books, other video courses, thoughts, articles, and you kind of put some things together and then you start reworking some titles. So looking at it here, I'll give you some insight right here, just my process about it. And I already have some ideas and concepts for it, but really I use Airtable to do this whole process. So I've created a bunch of different content topic ideas that I may want to cover. And Airtable is really great and fantastic for it's kind of like Excel, but on steroids. It's really, really great to resort things and information. So what I typically do is I plan out, in this case, we're doing kind of a 3-course plan. So it's 3 courses, really, not 1 course. I don't like overpacking my courses with too much because my courses tend to be long anyway. So I'm trying to always make them simple, short bites, digestible, and easy to consume. So even though we may have a lot of videos, it allows people to skip around quite a bit if they want to. So doing it in this way allows me to also implement and change things and upgrade things with time. So the course can continue to expand. But basically with Airtable, I've set up kind of an Airtable system like this, and it changes from course to course. But in this case, the way I'm planning out my YouTube business masterclass, how to go about, making money through YouTube, and how to really accelerate things like a revenue accelerator and traffic explosion with YouTube. As we go about this, I basically did some drop downs here. So I did course 1, course 2, course 3. And then what we're doing is then I have kind of sections for section 1. And these are not all perfect. Eventually I put things also in other, and then later I'll rearrange things. And then I have things in section 3. Or section 2, this is for the 2nd video course, and then section 3 is for the 3rd video course. So if I kind of want to do things, what I want to show you is basically I group things, and I'll group things by the course. So now this gets grouped by the course, and what I could do is, hey, if I want to work on the 2nd course, I can slowly start going in and closing all the others up and working on the 2nd one. And if I say, hey, this one actually should go to course number 1 or course number 3, because I'm just jotting ideas at the beginning, boom, 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 then I'll just kind of move it around to this one. Let me just go ahead and tag a note here. Let's see here. Just a little note, just so I don't mess things up. So I'm just going to put a quick note in here. So if I want to go ahead and move this one, let's say to part 1, and I want to move this one, I'll also put a little note here to part 1. Okay, then all of a sudden it gets moved into that area, and you're able to, as you scroll down right here, there's the one that we moved. Okay, so I'll move it back to part 2 for now. And the same thing over here, this one back to part 2. So it allows me to kind of quickly do these things on the fly. What you could also do is group by the next section. So I'll pick a 2nd one, a 2nd category. So if I want to regroup by internally with section 1, these are the sections for in that course. So now what I can do is, hey, I got groups based on section 1. Now it doesn't regroup by section 2 because I'm just focused on that first one now. So what I can do is now have this grouped within those groups. So now we're grouping by kind of section 2 here. And now it just allows me to quickly rearrange things and move things from one course to the other. Now the do it part here is like, hey, this title is done. I definitely want to make those videos. So that's what I kind of do and create it like that. Sometimes what I'll do is, hey, I got a good section idea. So let's say I'm talking about affiliates or something like that. I'll show you here part 3. And I created this one, viewing things on part 3. And what I can do is pick another field to group by, section 3. And now we just hide this one, and now you can see all of these are grouped, and I can even hide this field, and it saves my view. So as I go back into it, it saves my view. So now what I can do is, hey, if I want to work on an affiliate section, so here's kind of all my affiliate content and things related to affiliates. So what I can do now is, hey, I want to plan out article 1 or item idea 2, idea 3, idea 4. So once I kind of get those in there, then I'll go ahead and say, okay, I got figured out this idea. I'll go ahead and commit to that and just paste them in. And you know, it's kind of good to go. So I'll show you a couple more of these here. Again, let's just say I got some ideas. Maybe you couldn't see with my face. There, boom, paste them in, and it's good to go. So that's how you go about doing it, and then I just check mark them or just fill them all down. So that's how I would do it, and that's how I plan out my courses. And then if I want one video above the other one, I could just kind of, hey, I want to move that up, or I want to, hey, move this above that one, or move this below that one, or like over here. Move this under that, or move this above that. So you can see how, you know, it's just flexible. So basically you're trying to figure out kind of, hey, the topic ideas, hey, you're trying to figure out some things to work on, some notes maybe I'll put in here as well. There might be a notes column. Hey, what are the topics I want to cover? And then later on we get into slides and those kinds of things. But as far as the initial planning stage, this is kind of the brainstorming part. This is how I go about doing it, to be able to really create a course. And this process could go on for multiple weeks. I just might get to it, you know, 30 minutes here and there, another 30 minutes here and there. And with time, you get the planning stage done. And once it's planned, then you can go into, you know, designing PowerPoint slides and that kind of thing. And then you can get into the filming stage. So it's a long-winded process, but as far as the planning goes, that's how I do it. Course production, we do it kind of, I didn't set this up yet for this course, but it would be more like, hey, did we film it? Is it ready for editing? Is it ready for disclaimers? Is it ready for final export? Is it ready for upload? You know, so you just kind of do it step by step. And again, all with check marks, so that way you can see every single video is done. And then, you know, once that's all set, hey, it's ready. Is it ready for launch? Is it ready for newsletter list? It's just a check by check process. So anyway, I hope you got some good insight here on you know, planning out a video course, how I go about doing it. I used to also do it more in notepad file and just very simple, you know, title here, or section here, and then section here, and section there. But I found there was a lot of scrolling. So typically with now, what I do is I just kind of have, you know, little compartments as I do these sections. I come up with some ideas. So here's a few ideas. And then once I have these ideas kind of set up, then I'll paste the section in, and that slowly builds out my course. And then I just double check other things that I found in other places to make sure I didn't miss anything, and make sure my course is also complete, because I don't want to miss anything. It's just a good double check kind of method. So hope you got some insight out of this, gives you some thoughts and ideas of how I go about planning my video courses that are some premium products to sell. And if you're interested to get coupons, discounts, or even know when these great products are released, then be sure to get on my newsletter list by clicking the subscribe button right over here. And of course, you could subscribe to YouTube, but all the good stuff is on the newsletter list, along with some freebies, in-depth tutorials, and coupon codes, ebooks, you name it. It's on the newsletter list. So click the button there, get on my Business Cool Club, and that way you get notified when I send out those newsletters. All right, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.